Alrighty, first video in the new dorm room. Say hi, Gabby.
Hi.
I still don't know how to work the white balance on this camera, which is why I am very light and the rest of this shot is not. So I'm doing this video completely spontaneous / candid. It is a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I haven't really had the grounds to make it because I hadn't done anything about what I want to talk about. But I feel like I finally have the closure I need to be able to discuss this, and that is me going through a transitional stage in my reading life where I am thinking I'm starting to outgrow young adult fiction. And that phrasing might not be the best way to put light to it, but I think that in many ways I am thinking it's getting too cliche. I'm outgrowing it. I don't like it as much as I used to. I just kind of want to discuss it because I think a big part of my life is talking about books. In 2016, I think we'll begin to see a shift of the books that I discuss, the books that I talk about on my channel especially. I don't necessarily know where to begin because this was a gradual decline in young adult. I think I've been reading so much of the same thing for like 3 years that it's just getting old to me. This is how I realized I kind of wanted to move on. Everything started seeming like the same thing over and over, and then I've been reading synopses for books that are coming out both last year and this year, and just nothing interested me. I kept reading all these synopses and hearing people talk about all these new books coming out, and the first thing that came to my mind every single time was like, I feel like I've read that before though, or that doesn't sound interesting to me anymore. And so for the past couple months I've been kind of experimenting and googling different genres just because I was so bored with YA, and everything I was reading at the time I was so bored with, and it was all the same thing. It was like regurgitated themes and plots. I was not a fan of most of the books I read last year because I was focusing heavily on young adult. And so I recently just told myself, okay, I'm obviously getting tired of reading things in this genre. I don't know if it's because right now in the industry it's just at a low point and there's nothing really great being produced that doesn't seem like it's a regurgitation of a different plot, or if it's me that's getting bored and that's getting overwhelmed with just all the same books that are being republished and republished even though they're like the same concept. I just needed more wider variety of things that I could pick up and be impressed by, because everything I read was just mediocre and I was just tired. I think I said in one of my book hauls, or book unhauls, excuse me, I said I am so tired of reading mediocre YA, and that's what I'm trying to get rid of right now, is eliminate all the books that I think are just going to be mediocre, what I've been reading for the past several years, nothing special. Keep the young adult books that I think might pack a punch or that might be a gem, because obviously I love books like Shatter Me and I'll Give You the Sun. Those are like, even though I could make an entire discussion about how Shatter Me is like the same as every other YA book, but things like I'll Give You the Sun that are written extraordinarily and bring up really great points and have really interesting elements to them, I will still continue to read YA for books like that that are just incredibly written and have really vivid characters and are the really good ones of the genre. But I don't want to walk into a bookstore and go straight to the YA section and just pick out random books that I think sound okay. I want to be able to go somewhere and like read the backs of books for once in my life and think, no matter what genre, this sounds interesting, I'll try that. And I want to be more well-rounded, and I want to experience different genres and experiment with what my tastes are rather than just defaulting to young adult fiction like I have for so many years since I've started BookTube and since I've started reading avidly. Recently I was googling and I was researching literary fiction because I want to read more books that make me think. I want to read more books that challenge my ability to comprehend writing that is complicated, and I just want to branch out to more books that aren't just, oh my god, that boy was so hot, I love him, insta love, we're together forever, nothing is ever wrong with our lives, this is beautiful, we're 16 years old, everything's gonna work out great in my future, book is done. That started becoming very frustrating to me in the past year because I'm bitter now because I'm 18 and it hasn't happened, so thank you all YA books for that false sense of hope. But anyway, walked into a bookstore the other day with a wish list in mind, bought a handful of books, and that's going to be a book haul coming up soon. And I walked, after I had this huge pile of books, I walked through the young adult section, just perused a bit, and realized there was nothing on the shelf that I was interested in or that I had heard of. Typically I would walk into a YA section of a bookstore. Okay. Thank you, Belle, for the interruption. I would walk into the YA section of a bookstore and I would see a title that I've just heard of. If I hadn't even heard of the synopsis or known anything about the author, I'd just know the title or cover, I would get it and in the back of my head hope that I would like it and tell myself one day I would read it and buy it, just like having no idea what it was about, not checking the ratings, not hearing any reviews, and just get it because it was young adult. And I guess this is partially a video about bad book buying habits, but I never put thought into the books that I bought just because I assumed it was YA, I was gonna like it. But now I'm putting more thought and more research into the things I buy, and I'm not just mindlessly buying YA books anymore. I wanted to make a warning for this channel that I'm not the biggest fan of YA anymore, and I'm gonna try and read different things. And I'm sorry if you followed me because I mainly focused on YA, but I'm starting to find new channels where I look at the background of their videos and I look at all their shelves and it's filled with classics and different genres, and I want to be more like that. I want to have a wide range of genres under my arm, and I want to be able to contribute to a conversation whenever a book arises and I haven't read it, because for a long time I just put myself in this box and I only read this one genre because I guess it was comfortable for me, because the writing is easy, the characters are always likable and fun and happy, unless it's dystopian or something and they're all angsty and the same. For a while that was a comfortable place to be because it was so easy and it was cheap and it was quick to return to. But now that I'm older and now that I have kind of had some hindsight in my reading tastes in the past and seen how maybe that could have been a little bit more wisely chosen than it was, I want to start branching out of that box. And I think this year is going to be my first step, opening the box and peeking my head out and seeing what else is there to explore. So like I mentioned briefly earlier, I did go to the bookstore, I bought a ton of books, and that is going to be the next video. I'll be showing you a literary fiction book haul. Let me know what your thoughts are on Outgrowing YA. Thank you all for watching. I hope that this is okay with everyone. I know that like no one's gonna be like unsubscribed, but just wanted to give a little forewarning before I start to read more things that I might not have picked up in the past. I still have a ton of young adult books on my shelf that I need to read just because I've owned them for a while and I feel like they're worth a try. But that being said, I might unhaul several in the future. I'm going to stop talking now. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you understand. Let me know down below if you can empathize or if you've ever gone through this sort of transitional stage that I'm currently in. I will see you all next time, and keep an eye out for that book haul. Third self-promo in this video. Bye everyone!